Okay, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Moving into the Discomfort, or whatever we're trying to define the space as. I'm going to ask everyone just to introduce themselves. There's a lot more of us today, so yeah, would you go ahead, Slee, and introduce yourself?
I'm Slee.
I'm Slee.
Nandi.
Your name.
What is your name, bro?
I'm Boo, and I'm in real estate.
Okay.
Oh, nice. My name is Michael.
Madala, and I'm in entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship.
No, no, you introduce a profession.
Isn't that what we did?
No, we just say our names.
Oh.
It's fine. It's
Oh,
organic.
yeah.
It's
Come on,
organic.
guys, just keep it rolling.
And I'm Lungelo. Right, human rights.
Lungelo over human rights.
Oh, I did introduce myself.
Oh.
No simple.
Cool. So we're looking to have a conversation about politics. We've got the elections coming up on the 8th of May, and we thought it would be cool just to get around and have a conversation about what our thoughts are and what people are thinking around, especially our three major political parties. So we're gonna.
That's the ACDP,
Yeah.
the
ISP.
and the FF Plus.
The kiss
The
party.
purple cow.
So to get us going tonight, we're gonna start off by talking about the DA. So any thoughts? Yeah.
Don't vote for the DA.
I thought as a card carrying member of the
What do you guys think of the DA?
Muzi, guys. Muzi is.
Musi.
the Musi.
Muzi.
Who's my
But
man?
tell us what are your thoughts?
Who's my man?
Well, the TA.
Man.
I don't know. I've got friends who are councillors in TA, and they've always loved the TA. I don't understand it.
You don't understand it.
But on a serious note though, you know what's interesting to know about the DA is that beyond the fact that white people pretty much own the party, and internally it's politically persuaded along the lines of whiteness. This is something people are voting for the DA. I don't know how many people actually read up about their policies and stuff. And one important thing about them that I think lots of people don't realize is how much they propagate the idea of a free market. Of an open free market that is pushes the idea of capital being something that we essentially we're all born with, and so therefore free market operates along those lines, and we would all benefit with as more the market gets free, which I think a lot of the critiques of the DA are along the lines of we have an entire majority of the country that are they're disenfranchised and dispossessed and disempowered, and I think that's one way of actually practically seeing how stupid their policies are, and maybe stupid not the right word, how decontextualized they're so far removed from the context of South Africa, because they economically they are when they're fighting the nationalization of banks and mines and the giving back of land, their main standpoint is the fact that private property laws will it'll disrupt the free market, and the fact is that we're living in a country where if you propagate the idea of a free market, you're assuming that everyone starts off with capital. You're assuming that everyone has something to begin with, which in a utopian society, of course, that's we'll talk about it then. But the fact is that we're living in a historically disenfranchised country, and the idea of a free market propagated mostly by them because they are up there. They're not like the purple cows, or they're actually getting 23% of the vote. So we've got to talk about them, and that's one massive point of why the fuck would anyone vote for them when their main economic standpoint is so far removed from the South African context that
They don't speak to the issues of South Africans. You put it academically there, but they just don't. I'm fed up with DA voters, most of them, because I really am. I'm tired of these people. They speak some shit about people. Hey, these guys don't vote with their minds, they vote with their stomachs. People they're ignorant, so they vote because they know these guys better. And I'm like, why do you associate ANC or EFF voting with stupidity? Yeah. And you hear that even on church pulpits sometimes. I'm tired of that shit. Like most of the DA people are saying to you, Most of the DA people vote for the DA ignorant of the DA policy, but they accuse the ANC voters of the same thing. They're like, no, you don't know what you're voting for. And I'm like, well, do you know your own policy? How many white people are actually voting for the ANC? Because actually, if you look at ANC, EFF, I'd say policy right there. When you talk politics, you say policy. The policy is sound. That's some wise shit there. DA is not making sense within a South African context. I'm sorry. But then these white people will insist on voting for the DA without having read that. I mean, are you going to contest against the well-learned minds of South African politics when they are standing in EFF or ANC saying this is what we are lobbying for, this is what we are advocating for? These are the people who we're talking about when we say we're involved in politics. You know, and the DA people don't see that. Their voters don't see that. And I'm more so pissed off with the leadership because they don't even come through and say, listen, we gotta get some things straight, you know, within their voters and say, guys, we don't think the same as you do here. It's as if they go, hey man, we've got people to please, so we're gonna keep that going and not give a shit about the 80% of the country who actually are looking up into politics going, guys, you know, what are you doing for us? No matter what the system is. So I'm tired of the DA. I'm really tired of them.
No, but you need to respect the DA for one thing. They stick to what they say they're gonna do. Okay. So me being in the public sector for a while, I've realized that the problem with any administration in government, political administration, is the seriousness on what you want to do. The DA does not lie about protecting white privilege. They blatant about it. So I respect them for that, you know. They don't lie about clean administration. They do it. Now, clean administration with corrupt tendencies is everywhere in every government. But they have, working for the Auditor General in my yesteryears, I knew that most DA administrations achieve clean audits. The administration is on point. Now, of course, I understand that most of our people who get into administration, ANC, maybe IFP and others, our people have been hungry for a long time.
Yeah.
So there may be issues where they just overreact when they see money. You know, you've never seen a million, a billion, whatever, and you just go, huh? This is a revolution. So you must bear with our people. We slowly getting there, but you must appreciate that the DA and the seriousness on protecting white privilege, they don't. They tell you. They don't go to you and lie. They tell you, and you still vote for them. They were voted very well in Gauteng. They went through coalition now. Yes, Mashaba and Nsima. They didn't lie to anyone. It's there. So I know we have issues with them because of their policies, but they implement our policies just like that.
Yeah.
When it comes to the liberation movement, of which we all have loved in our lifetime, ANC, hey, you don't know. Hey, you don't know. You don't know where we're at. You know, this is our hope. We have loved this movement for a long time. But it's rejecting the wishes of black people. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. You know, I wish somebody. I mean, Kazan people. I will be honest with you. Kazan people who are within the ANC, they will tell you that they don't know what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
It's a fact. We don't know what the hell is going on. We don't know whether we're here or there. We're called a broad church. We don't know how broad it is. You just don't know what's going on. You just know it's okay. You know, there is heritage in this party. We grew up knowing about its history and its liberation and its struggle history. We appreciate it. We know that. We've learned about that, and that's what gives us love and creates that connection with the ANC. And that's anyone in South Africa, for that matter, will have that love and affection towards the ANC because of that. But when it comes to implementation, I don't know.
But how long will the ANC ride on the
I
wave
don't know.
of the struggle? And
It's a matter of time.
how long are you going to keep winning people over by the fact that you're the one that liberated them? And also, that's a questionable statement. Did they really liberate black people? Because they haven't. So if that's the premise of how they're going to keep going, like, well, you're going to vote for us, and as an individual, when you decide that I'm voting for the ANC and you're only doing it based on the fact that I'm holding back to what they stood for, I mean, I'm questioning you. When you're seeing the results of the party that's leading now and how they're running, and you're still saying I'm going to vote for the ANC because they took us from where we were to here, where is here?
So having lived in a city that was run by the DA for a number of years,
Was it Europe?
yeah. Yeah, sort of, not really, but yeah, like I just can't take the DA seriously. Like I won't speak to policy because I'm not there, but when you just look at the tangible effects of what a political party is supposed to do in a city like Cape Town. For me, Cape Town just like it was all about the interest of like white areas where white people were frequented. Those places. I mean, I was living in Cape Town during the drought, right? And weirdly enough, it was also like spun that like the people in the townships were the people wasting the water, and like just like crazy things where you're just like, it's just so skewed. Like the interests of that party are just about white people, and I have a huge problem with that. And it's not right. Like, I mean, I lived in the white areas in Cape Town, and it's strange being black in like a majority white place, like which a lot of us, all of us, have been subject to. You know, we've all walked in white spaces in this country, and it's like it's uncomfortable. It's not yours, but it is yours, and like you just like this. It just doesn't feel right, and I just don't vote for the DA. Like, that's all I want to say. Like, but I don't know who else to vote for, to be honest. Like, it's.
But what about Musi?
Who?
What about him though? Like,
Isn't he just a figurehead?
I was just about to
Like,
say
he's
as
just
well.
the face.
I think they're selling young black people on Umusi, on the DA by using him though.
Yeah.
I find that incredibly interesting because, you know, before, you know, when Helen, it was easier to hate on the whole situation. Now you bring in a black face to this and you bring in the whole administration, yeah, but is on point, and then you're going to have, you know, a number of black people who are going to say, I want to vote for this party because then in area A, you know, this certain party is not doing anything, but in area B, crime is down, this is down, and then also Musi is for the people, you know, and like, it's perception. You know, like it's perception.
Right,
So-
Genesis. You're very right. But here's the thing. Everything that you say could sound all controversial and all of that. But you see it even in on like a church stage. People like having a black person as quota. We have you there. You are on our staff.
Yeah,
So
of course.
therefore we are not racist.
Of course.
Therefore we don't have white agenda. You know, because you are there. You know, Sia, we're gonna go to Mozambique. You gotta come. You have to. Can't
The
go without
token
you.
black.
You know,
We even pay for you if you don't
Yeah, of course.
and
have it.
You can't.
I'm not saying Umus is a token or all. He's well-meaning. He actually wants to add some significance in this country. He wants to see some change and all of that.
It's genuine shit.
He is genuine. He wants to do it. And a lot of, even the white guys, they're well-meaning. But I hate the fact that these guys, most of them, they are, really. These are people who want to serve this country and see it come right. But they're willing to do that without addressing the issue and the plight of black people in this country.